Have you ever found yourself asking God for more? Look, I know I have. I was reading this morning out of 2 Kings chapter 4 and learning about Elisha and the widow. The widow, this woman loses her husband, and now she finds herself in debt. And the creditors want to take her 2 sons to be sold into slavery. Talk about a woman who's now desperate. And all she has is a small vial of oil. And she goes to Elijah and asks for help. She says, hey, my husband was a servant of yours and I need help. And this is what God tells Elijah to tell her. He says, go to your neighbor's house and get empty vessels. Ask all of them for empty vessels. And he said, get as many as you can. Matter of fact, here in chapter 4, verse 3, he says, go borrow vessels from everywhere. Do not gather a few. And when you have come in, shut the door behind you and your sons. Pour it into the vessels and set aside the full ones. So what happens next is she begins to pour a little bit of oil that she has into these vessels, and the oil never stops flowing. So what I'm reminded of today is, first, be obedient and listen to God. Second, use what you have, what God has given you already, and have faith that he can multiply it. And what happens with this woman is she goes from being desperate to being set for life. God gives her so much oil that she never needs any more oil. The oil continued to flow as long as the vessels were empty. I pray today that God helps us empty ourselves, to come to him empty, so that he can continue to pour into us, pour into our lives, pour into our health, pour into our finances, pour into our children, our families, into our community, and to continuously perform miracles in our life. I'm praying that we trust God with what it is that we have, and that we use what God has already given us.